Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, my missus was coming home the other day and she sent me a picture of this. This was growing just down the road from me on a, I don't think it was a park bench, but wasn't on a, it was on a piece of wood, but it wasn't on a tree. And she sent me a picture of it and I said, grab it, bring it home. Because I suspected it was white punk fungus. And from the looks of it, very sure it is white punk fungus. Because that's what she brought home. Now this is white punk fungus. This is what Jason sent me from New Zealand. And it looks exactly the same. This is the outside, this is the spore tubes. So it's got spores. So it was sitting on the tree, sitting on the piece of wood. I think the spores are underneath. I think that was it, sitting like that. And this one hasn't got any where the spores are. It's still a bit wet. I'm drying it out. It's been 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. I keep changing the it's just sitting inside. It's not light like this yet, but it's getting lighter, and it hasn't got this styrofoam effect yet. So yeah, very excited that there. And what's even more exciting is there was this piece here, but there are two smaller ones growing still that she's left. She knows where it is, and we're going to go back later on. And as they get bigger, as soon as they get big enough, I'll get her to get them too. Now Jason said, cut a piece off, which we did here, and hit it with a lighter. And I did that, and I hit it with the lighter. And it does smoulder, and it smells like white punk fungus to me. This is still wet. But it smells exactly like that. And it smoulders. So, very excited about that. That's here in Brisbane. This is still this is dried. It's dried out a bit, but it is smouldering. That's still smouldering now. Wasn't as successful last night, the night before that I tried this. It kept going out because it was still wet. But that is still smouldering a lot better. This is still wet, so it hasn't dried out as much as what it needs to be, because it's still a bit wet to the touch. But I'm going to keep drying it out for I'll dry it out for a week at least, until it gets to the same consistency as that. That's smouldering quite well. So I am 95% sure that that's white punk fungus. So it does grow in my area. Yep, that's smouldering, and it smells the same as that. That hasn't gone out yet. It's still smouldering away. Going off like a little trooper. It smells really nice. Same smell as the normal white punk fungus. So it does grow in Brisbane. That's fantastic. I'm so pleased with that. That's a beauty. It's only a little sample, only a little piece of fungus. The Aboriginals found it all around here in Australia. But I'm glad I got the spore tubes, so I know when I cut this in slices and then tear it, I'll know how to do it with flint and steel. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that because I wanted to show the same. It looks exactly the same. That's why I was comparing it and seeing how it burned there. It's gone out now, but the metal sucks it out. But yeah, fantastic. This is the thing you just got to do. Keep an eye out for any resources around. We don't get a lot of funguses in my area here. We don't get amadou or any of that sort of carry-on. But she did find, I had these out here. I don't know what they are, what sort of bracket fungus these are. But I was going to throw these in the, it'd probably be a toadstool, it'd probably end up killing me. But it's a bracket fungus of some type. But I was going to throw that in the char tin and char it. It's as woody and it's gone as hard as anything dried out. But I was going to see how it goes charred. But yeah, I don't know. I've never had much success with these ones, like with the bracket funguses, those sort of ones. But I've had a lot of success with these, with the white punk fungus that Jason sent me. I can get this stuff to go fairly easily once I cut it in things, tear it like Jason showed me. But once this dries out, because this is still wet and it's not spongy, it's still wet, you can still feel it's still wet to touch, because they're just big sponges, as all fungus are. So they will it'll take a fair few days to dry out. Once it's dried out, I'm going to, I'll do a video on showing how it takes a spark from flint and steel, because I know people are interested in that, and I know my missus knows where those other two smaller ones are. I'll get her to periodically go there and check, see how big they get. Once they get to about this size, I will harvest them, get them harvested too. So hopefully they will throw a few spores out. Maybe we might be able to get more of them to grow. But I know from looking these up, they used to get big ones, as big as a metre around, so a yard around. So, like, yeah, at least that around some of the bigger ones. So yeah, imagine getting a piece of punk fungus that big, you know, around in that big half moon shape. So yeah, but I've never seen them like even in the pictures I've seen of them, they've never been that big. But I've seen them in pictures, you know, they have them that big. But yeah, that one's not a bad size one, just for growing around here in the suburbs of Brisbane, so northern Brisbane. So yeah, I'm very happy. Anyway, as I said, keep your eye out, because I did on Australian Blade forums, there was a bloke saying about bracket funguses and that, and I mentioned about this, and he said, oh, he doesn't like using exotic ones. And I said, well, this is stuff that is found in Australia, because I said, oh, I use white punk fungus. And I mentioned that it was in New Zealand. He said, don't use it if you don't use stuff that you can't get here in Australia. And I said, well, this stuff's available here in Australia. And my missus found this here in Brisbane, just in my suburbs. So, it's just down the road. Like, I think it was a couple of 100 metres from our house. So, yeah. Anyway, white punk fungus. And from that demo there, I am sure that is white punk fungus. So, yeah. I just have to get it dried out now. But I've just got it sitting there inside next to my computer, and I keep changing the paper towel, because the paper towel slowly wicks the moisture out of it. I'm just letting the air dry it, because now it's taken off the thing. It's fairly dry inside, but we are in winter, so yeah, I haven't got my air conditioner on at all. I'm just trying to think of where it'd be a nice place to put it dried out quicker. I don't know. I'll let it just air dry. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.